Kidnapped, walking the scene with you in old flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the hip-hop sound. Their insights so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love from movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Welcome back to the VHS Club. Happy Thursday. We did it.
Happy Thursday.
We're
back.
2 weeks off, one expected, one unexpected, and we are back in front of the camera.
Last week, Katie and I were both just taken out.
Yeah.
Leveled for different reasons, but still both sick. So.
It's been a weird couple of weeks where everything has gone wrong, but we've made it to the other side, and I'm feeling good. I'm knocking on wood. Knocking on all the wood, but I'm feeling good. I had zero voice last week, like actually no voice whatsoever. So huge thanks to all of the people who jumped onto all of the shows but this one. I felt like I couldn't send a replacement Katie to this one. It just didn't feel right. So this one we just hit pause on, which I think was a good move. And then last night, so I should just call this out since I see Josh is hanging out with us in the comments, and I think Doc is here too. We tried very, very hard to have our first official movie night where we could all have our cameras on and hang out and have our snacky snacks and our drinky drinks and all
and that we could chat while watching the movie too.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, it didn't
everything
work.
broke. We did though.
So on brand.
So on brand. So we will post all of those hilarious photos because they were epic in how ridiculously
it occasionally worked at random.
Yep.
We don't know why.
Yeah.
And the GIF button still gave us the blue screen of death.
Yeah.
Except for Katie.
Except for me. Yeah. So
Except for Katie.
Huge thanks to,
so random.
to Doc for testing with us and being so patient. And huge thanks to Josh for still hanging out and for making it a really fun night. So we did end up watching Teddy Ruxpin and my favorite monster, my new monster.
Yeah, my pet
monster. My pet monster, which I thoroughly enjoyed both. So all that to say, if you missed it, no worries, because it was a little bit of a disaster, although we did prevail. And if you really are looking forward to movie night, we are too, and we're going to find a better platform in the next month so that we can do this on a monthly basis. So thank you to everyone for sticking with us. And we are prevailing. We're having fun. That's the important part, right? That's what matters. That's what matters. Well, I'm delighted that you allowed me to hijack tonight's episode to geek out all over Shakespeare now. So, I mean, not that you...
Well, you were just in London, if we're pretending it was last week and we weren't sick.
Yes.
So
last week I was just in London.
You just got back from London.
Yep.
And you're like, what movie should we do? And I was like, I don't know, like Braveheart, or I'm like, wait, you were just in London, you just went to the Globe Theatre, obviously we have to do Shakespeare in Love. Also because we love this movie and still have like a huge crush on Joseph Fiennes because he's so pretty in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
For once, Colin Firth is not so pretty in this movie.
For once, Colin Firth is like
character.
Not our favorite in this movie. I mean, he's still our favorite, but he's not like our favorite.
But that's because he's so good at his job that he makes even us hate him in
It's
this.
very, very true. Well, I thought I would geek out and just share a couple quick photos. These were on Instagram, but yes, I did come. I did hit up the Globe Theater, so that's it on the left if you're watching on YouTube, and the top if you're watching on a vertical feed. That is the actual Globe Theater. That's it all set up for Midsummer Night's Dream, which is what they are currently. Maybe I don't know how long the show run was, but that was what they were putting on. I didn't have time to see a play, unfortunately, but it was a
Spring
really
Run,
magical experience. And there's me with Will, because because why not? So I had different feelings this time around watching Shakespeare in Love. I have no idea how many times I've seen it or when I saw it first, but I had different feels. I had different feels this time.
You had the feels that I had back when it first came
There
out.
we go. Full circle moment. Full
Still
circle
have the same
moment.
feels.
Yeah.
But,
Full
but
circle.
it was funny. You
moment.
messaged me. I'm like, that's exactly. That was my whole thing. And everybody thought I was crazy because Gwyneth Paltrow won an Oscar for this.
Yes.
And she's good in it. But she has zero chemistry with Joseph Fiennes, who plays Shakespeare.
That's my controversial hot take. I will say, so I will.
It's not controversial.
Okay, well, everyone loves
I
this
think
movie,
most,
so.
Yes, look, it's a phenomenal movie, but I'm like, she's not known for having great chemistry with co-stars, but she is known for being very good at her job.
She's a phenomenal, she's a phenomenal actress. This is Gwyneth in her absolute prime. This is like prime Gwyneth moment.
This is, peak. She won her Oscar, her pink dress.
Pre-goop Gwyneth, if you will. And she like nailed I mean, this movie, and I will let Nat give a description on it, but I just need to say, like, this movie has literally everyone in it. It won all the Oscars. It basically like has gone down in history for having this like epic upset at the Oscars because it took Best Picture over Saving Private Ryan, which everyone thought would get Best Picture, and it took him 7 Oscars.
I didn't think so.
So like
that's the controversial take. Is Natalie didn't think Saving Private Ryan had a fucking chance to win. Sorry, Tom.
There you go. You heard it here first. And then
was
my
Joseph Fiennes also in Saving Private Ryan? Or was it one of the other like million war movies that came out exactly at the same time that year?
Oh gosh, I don't have that in my fun facts. And
Thin Red Line?
Paul is out sick today, so he's not able to. He was
in the Thin Red. He was in the Thin Red Line. Maybe it was a different war movie came out around.
He definitely was in a war movie. I don't think it was that one. My favorite though Oscar fact of this movie, I'm just gonna throw it out. We're just gonna be hot and crazy side quest tonight. But my favorite Oscar fact about this movie is that Judi Dench, who is a goddess, won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress, and she was only in this movie for like I think it was a total of 8 minutes. I'll find the exact fact, but it was
the ticker tape
ridiculous.
said 10 minutes.
10? Okay,
10
there you
minutes
go. 10
on the
minutes.
ticker tape.
Yeah. Although who's to say that's accurate, but this is saying 8 minutes of screen time, so somewhere between 8 and 10.
Her presence in this and her command of the stage, if you will, was so strong that it was warranted. Like, she's arguably one of the most memorable characters in this. Like, her performance in this sticks out more to me in my memory than Gwyneth Paltrow did. But they both won an Oscar for it. So, and Gwyneth Paltrow was a lead, and again, Dame Judi Dench had 8 to 10 minutes. So.
Which almost
like her
makes
performance
her more
was
epic,
that good.
Really. Like,
yeah, that's exactly it.
If you're only in it for 8 to 10 minutes and you steal the show. Okay, I need one more side quest, if you will. I'm sorry, Nat. I'm just going to be interrupting.
I have so many side quests.
Great,
I'm holding them all in.
Great. All right. My one, probably one of my favorite moments from the Globe Theater was this story that I'm completely going to butcher because I'm low on sleep and who knows how well I'll remember this. But basically they were saying that it was in a production of one of the Henrys. And it was one of the productions that they had done where they like sometimes at the Globe they do traditional Shakespeare, but they do it in like modern costuming, and sometimes they do it in like traditional costuming, and they go all out and hand sew these like elaborate costumes. So it was one of the hand sewn elaborate costume evenings, and it was one of the Henrys that has Queen Elizabeth in it, so character Queen Elizabeth, and at this showing, actual Queen Elizabeth was in attendance. And so character old Queen Elizabeth comes riding in this like ornate, like so heavy, it's wild, so expensive, hand sewn like queen costume on like I think it was a white horse, comes like riding in and gets down off the horse and curtsies to the actual queen, and the actual queen stood up and curtsied back to the actress playing Elizabeth, and I like
Pretty
have
badass.
chills like even thinking about that moment, like how epic that would be in the Globe Theatre in London. So
I can't remember which Henry that was. Was it 2 Henry IV or Henry V?
I'm gonna get it wrong, and I don't want to sidetrack myself by looking on my phone. So,
okay, but side quest. Okay, it's Henry IV Part 1, 2 Henry IV, not Henry IV Part 2, 2 Henry IV, and Henry V. Why? We don't know. That's just historically how it's been said, and we don't know why.
Yep.
And 2 Henry IV is hilarious, even though it's a historical tragedy, but it's still really funny.
Okay, well, all that to say, Judi Dench chills, real Queen
Nailed
Elizabeth
it.
chills, every version of Queen Elizabeth chills. And over to you, Nat, for what the heck is this movie about? For Josh, who has not yet seen it.
So this movie is about William Shakespeare, the actual living human being, historical human being, I should say, and he is in a writer's slump. So he's, if you don't know, he's a playwright and a poet.
If you don't know who Shakespeare is,
I
you
will
may have a
judge you
problem.
if you don't know this. I'm sorry. Like, no, I won't judge you. I will judge the education system. But so he's a playwright. He's in a writing slump. He's trying everything to get out of his writing slump, taking multiple lovers, going to see doctors, priests, astrologists, whatever, to try and figure out if there's some sort of cure for his writer's block. And then he by chance meets this beautiful young maiden who's being married off to an evil man for political reasons, as it always was at the time, which those marriages were law. So they have a torrid love affair, and he is inspired to write Romeo and Juliet. And some of the political controversies brought up in this is the arranged marriages, like marriages where women are used as
property
products, like a sellable product. And Queen Elizabeth being a little more involved in the common folk at the time. The plague was brought up in this, which was quite interesting. And also acting, so at the time, women were not allowed on stage. And even in ballets, by the way, if you didn't know that, it was all men
dressed as women
in tutus and women, and they had young boys who hadn't had their voices dropped yet play the young maidens. And the controversy in this is Gwyneth Paltrow's character always wanted to be an actor, and she loves poetry, which is why she falls in love with Will. And since she's being sold off and moving to America, she's like, screw this, I'm going to go and I'm going to act in this play and fall in love with Will and have a torrid love affair, which is super illegal at the time. Especially, they didn't mention it in the movie, but especially because he was Catholic. So it was big. That was a big deal back then. And then we see the creation of the play Romeo and Juliet, and how that one brief moment that, like, it could have just been weeks, like maybe even just a month or two, that this whole movie takes place over, and it inspired the rest of his career. So
and it she
and
really
changed
becomes
the stage.
It changed the stage. She really
Stage
becomes like
performances.
his muse, and you see like if you at all know and love Shakespeare, like you can see how her character pops up in all kind, like her inspiration and her as a person pops up in all, well, not all, but a number of other plays and sonnets that they bring up and mention throughout this movie. So it's a really fun completely inaccurate in many ways story about.
But
So
they did use cute little ways to try and tie inaccuracies.
Yeah.
So one of the historical inaccuracies in it is that one of the other famous playwrights of the time, Christopher Marlowe or Kit Marlowe, gets murdered. He gets in a
bar fight.
Pub brawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets stabbed. So we now historically know that he was assassinated by the Queen, like by the Queen's order. She didn't actually do it herself because he was a spy for the crown, and had basically was at he got his burn notice. So she took him out. And that's true, and which is even crazier than in the movie. It's Shakespeare, when he is about to get caught with, is it Viola? Is that her name in it?
Yeah, because that becomes the character in Twelfth Night.
One of the characters. Yeah. So when he is about to get caught with Viola by her fiance, he says, "Oh no, it wasn't Will Shakespeare. It was Christopher Marlowe." And so now this fiance goes out and murders Kit. Who was also an equally at the time famous playwright to Shakespeare, if not bigger than Shakespeare at the time. He was also Protestant, so that helped. That the whole Catholic Protestant, they didn't mention in the movie, but was a very, very big deal
in England for a
at the time.
very long time.
Still is, to be honest. You don't want to walk into a Protty bar and be obviously Catholic and vice versa especially during a football match, but whatever.
Yeah. So
whole other side quest.
According to the interwebs and ample research, because that's the kind of person I am, it says the things that are kind of real in this movie are Christopher Marlowe, the Globe, and the entire world of the theater. That is all accurate. Like all of the
like how
lore,
it was bought
how
and
the
paid
theater,
for, and the companies,
the rival theater companies, all true. Queen Elizabeth loving theater and like showing up at theater. Yep, true. In real life, they would have gone to her. She would absolutely not have gone to the theater, but true nonetheless.
I think the only time she would have gone to the theater was maybe for Othello when the
modern
Saudi prince,
day,
which
to see the most recent Queen Elizabeth went to the theater, but older Queen Elizabeths, no.
I think she might have, because she was being courted by one of the Saudi princes, which inspired Shakespeare to write Othello. And when he came for a royal visit to court Queen Elizabeth, I think she might have taken him to the theater to show off basically England. This is in my head. I'm like, this is a fact. I studied Shakespeare to death in university, but I don't know if it's true or not. And I mean, it could have been disproven also by this point. It was true in 2005.
I mean, what we know to be true of that time period is also a little shaky anyway. I mean,
mostly supposition.
This is the late 1500s. Shakespeare, according to what we know from history, has what is commonly called the lost year, which is actually more than a year. It's like a period of time where we don't really know a lot about him. And so like this story is supposed to be taking up that time. Like that's where it fits in. But it's obviously like there was no Viola character, Shakespeare writing Romeo and Juliet because of like actual heartbreak. I mean, we have no idea.
We don't know because that's possible that there was a Viola, because
that's true. So it was not this specific Viola character who gets married. I mean, this story is historical fiction, but yeah.
In the movie, he writes her one of the sonnets, like one of the famous ones that we know.
Yep.
And that falls into a series of sonnets that we believe historically that he wrote for a mistress that was married to a rich lord, which fits into the plotline.
Yeah.
And he was married and having an affair because he lived away from home. His wife lived in Stratford-upon-Avon. Yep. He moved to London because the marriage kind of fell apart after the death of his twins. I don't believe they survived.
No, they didn't.
So it fell apart. And interestingly enough, a lot of the way we've in modern times, like recently, have been sort of fact-checking the historical suppositions that we've made is through his work, but comparing it to like trashy tabloids from back then.
Yeah.
Because like the tabloids, like the TMZ of Renaissance England, and we're like comparing notes with what we know that he's depicted, because he was known to depict a lot of truths in his work.
Yeah.
Like Romeo and Juliet was borrowed from an already written Italian Renaissance, which the Italian Renaissance was just before the English one. So he just borrowed one of their stories, like from a play that was written in Italy. I can't remember by who, about real life Italian royals, and he just kind of appropriated it and like zhuzhed it up to fit England, you know. So, anyway, Shakespeare stole shit all the time, which was fantastic. It makes him hilarious, and he also created most of our swear words that we use today.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is like wild to think like how long ago this was and how much we have of his work. Like we are lucky that we do have like the amount that exists, because really like it was a time where like what we need to understand, I don't think what I fully appreciated until I was like there kind of doing the tour and learning about the history of like the globe, but also theaters at that time. Like this wasn't even in London at this time. Like the theaters were run by basically criminals. So like it's like
it's on the other side of the tracks.
Exactly.
The tracks
Imagine,
was
like,
the Thames.
Imagine like what you would like, you know, like think about like a casino and then like lower that like 10 times. Like that's what these theaters were like. Like
it's where they had like the dog fights and the cockfights and the bear baiting. Bear baiting was a sport, a competitive betting sport, where people would literally, like bear tamers would poke bears with pointed sticks, and you'd bet on who would die, like of the people nearby. Like,
and even even the theater production. So like even these productions,
bad part of town,
like Shakespeare productions, were meant to be like community involvement. Like the crowd was like right there. The actors were interacting with the crowd. Like the crowd were like made up of all elements of society. Like there were wealthier people that sat up higher, and then there were what were called the groundlings, which were there on the ground, which were the cheapest tickets, but they were like right in people's faces. So it is different than what you'd imagine theater to be like today, which I think is what made this movie actually like really fun and interesting. Is that they showed that. Yeah.
And they showed like, and historically accurate too. Like you mentioned, the Queen wouldn't have gone to the theater would have gone and performed at court, like at the castle. So they would have gone into London to perform for the Queen, and they did show that some poetry readings and stuff, that they went to court to perform it. So even like the richest people were not in the balcony seats in the theater. It was like the richest of the commoners.
The richest of the
like
commoners, yeah, exactly.
The merchants, like the business owners, the nouveau riche of it all.
Exactly.
So it's like the movie, what I like about it is it does have a lot of historical inaccuracies, but it does introduce you to a lot of historical accuracies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the movie, the theaters are all closed. So that's part of his slump.
Yeah.
And his missing years is that the theaters are closed because of the plague. There was a viral outbreak. I feel really bad saying it now because there's also a rodent possible viral outbreak live happening. But whatever. And in it, I messaged Katie earlier when there's this one kid, and it's like this like snot-nosed gossip of a kid that just butts in at the worst times throughout the whole movie, and it's like a running bit, and it's so funny, which is a common character that Shakespeare always has. To explain or to further the plot or to push the plot in a direction. He always has this sort of like knave or clown character, but the kid is sitting in the street talking to Shakespeare, and he's playing with rats like during the plague. Like, oh my god. Like, that's wild. I was like, that's a lot to take in, because like even then they knew it was the rodents passing it around. Like, dear god. Anyways,
it
was probably one of the funniest parts of the movie, also horrifying.
Excuse me. What I really like about this film is that it has like this incredible cast, but I think what makes it really interesting is that you're spending time with the theater people, like all of the
Yeah.
different aspects of it. And the actors who play these characters are so good at bringing these characters to life. And I think they just do a really phenomenal job of making it feel very like fun and community based, but also like how hard and difficult it would have been, and like and how kind of real and raw it is. Like they're, you know, these theater owners are barely keeping afloat. Like they have no money.
They're getting sponsors.
They're getting sponsors, but even that, like they're all stealing from each other. They're not sure if these plays are actually going to are going to be able to get pulled off. They're worried about every conceivable aspect. Everyone's lying to each other, but there's this level of like
they're trying to steal parts from each other. Like so Will gets the money because he has the first just one act of this play, and it's like it gets funded and technically gets funded by two different people, which leads to a whole other plot. But so they're trying to like pick up actors, and his, I guess, sort of manager agent type character, Jeffrey Rush, who's hilarious in this.
He's the best. Yeah, I love him.
So funny. They're just trying to pick up. He's like, who's that guy auditioning? He's terrible. He's like, oh, he's my barber. He always wanted to be an actor. And it's like, it shows like how they're just sort of pulling anybody in. And then enters Ben Affleck and the like quote unquote professional actors.
I love him.
And they're like,
he's so good.
He was so good in this.
He's so good. Like I forgot he was in this. And when he walks in, I was like, oh right, he's in this. And then I was expecting him to be kind of like campy and ridiculous, but he was like the level of perfect that he's so good in this.
His accent was phenomenal. And I would argue that it was better than Gwyneth Paltrow's accent. And Gwyneth Paltrow's family is from England, and she grew up there and spent time there. So she like the accent for her is easy. And it like, doesn't she still live there? You know, like, so her accent was great because it's familial to her. But Ben Affleck's accent was flawless. It was so good.
Yeah, for a New Englander, I was impressed. I was like,
for somebody from Boston, I was like, wow.
Because he thought his accent was terrible.
Boston is a hard accent to hide. Like, no offense to anybody from Mass. I think the accent in Massachusetts is amazing. I love it. But it's like, it's not easy to like hide and mask. So he was very good in it.
I love the one thing I also thought was like really wonderful is that you're so this movie obviously just made me really want to watch Romeo and Juliet again, which came out 2 years before this. Like and I will die on on the belief that movie like cannot hold a torch to this one. Like that movie is just like stands on its own in
Baz
glory.
Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is phenomenal. And the chemistry between them was incredible. But I will say what I really liked was sort of this like, at least in my own mind, like a connection point between the two movies in the character of the nurse. So what I loved in this movie was that you had Gwyneth Paltrow's character had like her version of the nurse, because she's like basically
the real life
Juliet in this story. And so she had the like Juliet nurse. And then you had the man playing the nurse like in the production on stage, and like both nurses were brilliant. And I just loved like they had the same kind of like chaotic ride or die like character that the nurse in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet had. So I really liked like
which was played by like, it's almost like they copied Marion Margulies' performance. You know, which I mean, she would have based it on genuine theater anyways, you know, so like it's both historically accurate and kind of like an homage to her, because she's honestly just the best. Like, she's one of my favorite people, especially to watch in interviews.
No, she's phenomenal. So I really liked that part of it. And again, like this is really like, I know that you have Gwyneth and Joseph as kind of the main characters. Certainly they are. They did incredible jobs. But this is an ensemble cast, really. Like this movie would not have worked had it not been for like incredible acting from top to bottom, from that kid that you just mentioned all the way up to the main actors. They are all incredible.
Right at the end of the movie, she's being shipped off to America and got married, and she's not going to make the play, and she's supposed to play Romeo. But then the kid who's supposed to be playing Juliet, his voice drops. So then they don't have a Juliet.
Seconds before
And
the play is supposed to open. Yeah.
like they're backstage, the theater is full, and he's like, my voice dropped. So they're like, oh my God. And Will is heartbroken because Viola left. He's going to play Romeo. There's nobody to play Juliet. She basically runs away from the ship and sneaks in to watch the performance, realizes the problem, hops on stage as a woman. Like, and then little rat boy's like, but she's a chick. So then the police at the time are coming to like arrest, like the Royal Guard is coming to arrest everybody because it was illegal for women to have jobs. Unless it was like at court or scullery maid or whatever. Like,
it's illegal for a noble woman to be on the stage with, again, like basically a group of criminals. Like,
technically she wasn't a noble woman. She married into her title.
Fair. But
because I at one point I was like, what's the like, so Colin Firth like is a lord and he's getting
Wessex?
all this money.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's, a lot of people historically will have a title but run out of money. And he's going to America to strike it big in the New World. But he needs this money from this marriage that her dad, who's very wealthy, but he's a wealthy business owner.
Yeah.
So she's basically, she was poor, but she is
title.
polished.
He gets the money. Yeah.
And she marries for the title, and so blah, blah, blah. But yeah. But yes, she shouldn't have been acting because her station was higher.
But of course, it's phenomenal, and everyone is like beside themselves. And then the queen saves the day at the end, which is literally the best part of the movie. Is the queen
for me
saving everything.
So while he's writing the play, they're having this torrid love affair, and they're sneaking around, and her nurse knows about it, same as in Romeo and Juliet, and it's this sort of manic pace that the filmmakers set, where they're learning lines and he's writing and they're making love and the cast is learning the choreography, and Viola and Will are sneaking backstage when their characters are off stage. They're kissing, and like he jumps in, he's like, oh, don't perform it like this, like hold your pacing. And they do the whole scene together, and like the first time that they kiss, she's dressed as a drag king, she's dressed as a boy. So she's a boy pretending, or she's a girl pretending to be a boy, and he's pretending, so he's playing Juliet, she's playing Romeo, and the kiss, and it's such a passionate kiss that the whole company is like,
yeah, like
that's really good acting. except that they're already lovers. So it was this manic pace of seeing him write it, and then as we're getting to the end of that scene, we're realizing, like, he's realizing that they cannot be together. Like, he's married, she's getting married, she's going to America, they'll never see each other again. So it's like this depression where Romeo and Juliet is famously a failed comedy.
Yeah.
So it follows his whole archetype of all of his comedies, and then right at the end, poisoned, they die. Like, it was shocking and abrupt and powerful, and you could see it's through his realization that their love won't survive, that he writes this tragic ending, which then leads to my favorite scene when they're actually performing it, and she wakes up and she's like, Romeo, where is my lord? Where is my Romeo? And then the nurse, her nurse, like, is in the audience crying, and she's like, he's dead. And I'm like, best line in the movie, because the theater is shocked silence.
Yeah, there's just some silence. Yeah.
Historically, this is the first, I guess, failed comedy that was performed allegedly. I can't fact check that in my brain at the moment, but
it would. You're right. It would,
because
like
like comedies were comedies. Yeah, it would have been shocking to the audience.
Yep.
Man, could you imagine? Could you imagine being there?
No, I can't. Like
I can't imagine being there now, and I know the ending, but for the first time,
there is something, like, I think you're right. What makes this movie for us, because we love Shakespeare so much, is that like it's fun to watch the creation of something you know so intimately. Like it's fun. It's fun to like watch how those scenes playing out in quote unquote real life create the characters and the story that you know really well. And like, and because we've seen this production in real life, in movies, read it ourselves, and like, so we've been involved with it so much that it like it I think that's kind of in many ways what makes it's so special, and what I think is so, I don't know, like great about it. It's funny that some of the discussion questions for tonight were like surrounded by this concept of like, is this one of the last, so this movie came out in the late 90s, 1998, and is it like one of the last of these kind of like romantic, like
Historical fiction,
mid-level dramas, like where it's just like this like powerful drama, but it's like it's a cozy drama. It's not like a, like, you know how when you think of like an Oscar winning movie these days, or even like at this
follows
era,
a formula
it follows like a
nowadays.
formula, like, and it's very like intentionally made to make you feel sad. Like this one actually, given that it's about Romeo and Juliet, is actually like a really heartwarming, cozy, like the whole movie is filmed in a way that feels very warm. It's
Intimate.
very intimate. It's very well, I feel like it's sort of an end of an era for those kinds of movies. Like I don't, you know,
I
and
can't think of, you
and
know
there
what, the
were a
only thing
few.
that I think is comparable is not a movie, but the limited series Discovery of Witches,
Oh yeah.
which
absolutely.
did have like Will and Kit in it, because they travel through time, but that had that sort of historical sense. Though that movie, that series based on books, was written by a historian, so
An Oxford
probably
historian.
a lot more factually historical accurate than this movie, but still. But it did have that romantic history.
And I don't love all of these ones, but these are examples of other ones in this era. So you have like, you have The English Patient, you have Elizabeth, you have Chocolat,
which also another
you have Atonement.
Fiennes.
Like there were these kinds of like, you're right, sort of almost like historical fiction.
Okay, Chocolat fits. It's not necessarily historical fiction. It is based,
but it's got
in
that
a different
feel.
time period.
Yeah.
And it is a rom drama, like a romantic drama.
But it's cozy. It has
in a
that
time
coziness.
period. Yes,
Yeah.
it does, which is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a historical fiction. Historical fiction is generally, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's based on an actual historical time period.
Yeah, it's fictionalizing a story about characters who were real people.
Who were real, yeah.
So I mean,
The
no,
English
not
Patient,
all of those are historical fiction, but they all have that vibe and that feel to them, I think.
Yeah, they do. So Rafe Fiennes
is
in The English Patient.
I'll just go out and say that.
So do I.
I really hate that movie.
Oh my God. I remember when we rented it. We're sitting on the couch and I kept falling asleep, and my brother was so pissed because it was like a family Thursday movie night.
It's not. It's never a family movie night. That's not the
movie. My brother keeps waking me up and I'm like, just let me sleep through this goddamn movie. He's like, if I can't fall asleep through it, you can't fall asleep through it. It was so bad. I had to like rewatch it twice to try and figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Atonement was fantastic, but not at all cozy. That was sad. That was just sad.
That's true. But I think you are right, though. Like, I think if movies, if this concept exists today, it's likely a miniseries. Like, I think you're right that like this isn't really a movie genre or category like, as much anymore.
I could say maybe The Crown, except that's also I personally feel that the miniseries on
Doc
Netflix,
The
Crown,
Gilded
was
Age
depressing.
Is a good one.
The Gilded Age, yeah.
Tudors and Black Sails, also great. Yeah, I think
loved both of those too.
Yeah. Doc, you get us.
I'm like, let me list them all off now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, ChatGPT says that prestige romance dramas used to completely dominate, and this is sort of the end of that era. And I think
we're still having a hard time getting back into rom-coms.
Yeah.
I saw this interesting discussion on social media about it, how A lot of people feel that now, like, rom-coms don't work as well anymore. Like there was one recently
Hmm.
with Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson.
Hmm.
And most women reacted to it like it's just a horror movie. Like there was nothing good about it.
Like, this is not a comedy.
But and we're like, there's no rom, there's no com, it's a horror flick. And then there's that discourse where men are surprised and they're like, but it's just a cheesy rom-com. And then it's like written for the male gaze and the female gaze, and that's just coming up. And there's so much conversation I think to be had in that space that we're just not able to produce
Yeah, that's sad though.
a satisfying rom-com at the moment.
I hope we get past that because I like it is a
Though
favorite
I
category
have to
for me.
say, and I'm gonna bring it up for like what the millionth time, K-pop Demon Hunters. I know it's animated and technically for children, but it was such a good fantasy rom-com.
A fabulous fantasy
It was
rom-com.
so good.
It's so good. It is a good one.
And that was written by a woman,
There you go.
Canadian Korean, and it was fantastic. So it's possible. It's just it's I
tough.
think we're losing the communication on like who will produce the content that we want. It's like how Buffy got rebooted and then one of the produce and it got canceled before airing because one of the producers is like uber Christian and is totally against. But I'm like, but historically Buffy is the first show or first Western show to have, or probably first American show to have a like open gay couple on it.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you attach yourself to this project?
Why take this on? It's also about vampires, which feels like that would be
Like,
controversial.
did you
for you,
take it? Yeah, like, did you take it on just to can it? Which is a theory that people are like, fans are upset. So I'm like, so we're having this kind of problem in the
Yeah.
world right now.
I don't like it.
Okay, we have bigger problems, but still, bring back the romantic comedy dramedy.
I will say, and I think I've mentioned this in other episodes before, but like the other category that I really love that it also has difficulties right now is is like slapstick comedy, like Airplane and Naked Guns and all those. But the new Naked Gun movie, which I did watch, is pretty darn close and like manages to stay like fairly okay. So I think it's possible. I think they can be updated and released in a way that's like not like can be silly and irreverent without like hurting everyone's feelings. So I'm hopeful that rom-coms can make a comeback as well. But
they tried. They had like a little bubble, a bubble of success, but we'll see if it can stick a landing.
Well, this category I think ends up probably in the miniseries space, which I actually think is not a bad fit for it. Really.
Which is fine because like give me more of that time period. Like I want to see more of the epoch of this. Like I want to be sucked into the history of it.
Doc is saying A Knight's Tale, which we absolutely need to do here soon. That's another great one.
I have been saying that for like the past 4 months. Like when are we going to do A Knight's Tale? We just keep getting
we're so easily distracted.
I love A Knight's Tale. Yeah.
All right, I think I covered a lot of these facts, but here a fast fact round.
Oh yes.
So the screenplay of this movie was in development for nearly a decade. Julia Roberts was originally attached to it, which I honestly think she would have nailed, but you know, whatever. Daniel Day-Lewis was considered for Shakespeare. I don't know if I would have enjoyed that. I think
I'm sorry, Joseph Fiennes
soft.
Is just so
Daniel
pretty.
Day-Lewis is not soft. He is like an intense actor. Ben Affleck jokingly said his accent was intentionally terrible, which both you and I disagree. I think he did a great job. The dog,
because he's not from a good part of town. Like, you know, he's supposed to have a bit of a rough accent, so it was great.
Yeah. All right, Doc is in. This just in. Doc is in when we do Knight's Tale. He says he's seen it 50 times. Great, you're in, Doc. Make sure we actually do it. The dog in this movie was apparently the absolute favorite of everyone. Like dog for the win. Dog, the best actor on set. The dog. The film won 7 Oscars, which we already mentioned. Judi Dench won despite only being on screen for less than 10 minutes.
Nailed it.
And the famous "It's Not Written Yet" ending became absolutely iconic. So again, like this movie ends up winning because even though it is sad, it's not as sad as Romeo and Juliet itself. And I think the Queen's positioning at the end and letting them have their kind of final moment on stage
Their moment,
and together, I think really makes this feel less intense.
So the queen implies that she knew about the love affair. She knew about Will pretending to be a maid while she went to court to register her marriage. She knew about she was there for the bet, but she knew that this boy actor was actually the woman, but she went up to see her on stage and was like, "Oh, Sir Tom, come and introduce yourself." And she's like, "Looks like a man to me," and says this great line of like, she's like, "I understand a woman in a male-dominated field and the difficulties of that kind of position." So it's sort of, so she says it out loud so everybody knows that this will be overlooked. You know?
No one can challenge her, so everyone just needs to shut up about it. Yeah.
And people used to try and fight her on everything and try to control her, and she was known for being fairly ruthless because she didn't put up with a lot of it.
Had to be. I mean, to survive she had to be.
She refused to even get married, which was, I mean, it's still shocking.
Yeah. So, it's wonderful. She's
love it. But
she's just, high up on my favorite list.
And she didn't kill her cousin, Mary Queen of Scots. She let her live, which she really shouldn't have, but she did. She let her live. So it's
big mistake, but it was a really great movie.
Oh yeah. But really but yeah, no, she definitely bucked tradition in as strong as a way as she could, which in the movie was much more overt than what would have happened in real life. All of these people would have died, but she did particularly enjoy Shakespeare because he did pander to her a lot. And like I had said earlier, like he specifically wrote Othello because the Saudi prince was coming to court her, to woo her. He didn't woo her, but
he didn't win her over at all.
But he did write Othello, which was fantastic, and also in a sense would have given her a bit of a way out, saying like, "See, it wouldn't work out."
Yeah.
So it's like, well, like even my country feels that it wouldn't work out, so I have to refuse you. So it was really brilliant on a historical side, but and I know in modern history we portray Othello as like an African Moor, but it's more likely that he was a Middle Eastern Moor.
I see, it's more likely. I gotcha.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Where's my shoot? Funny. I closed my sound effects window. I don't have my boom sound effect. There you go.
But the term Moor was used to just basically describe non-white. So
he was a non-white man.
But the Saudi prince did come to visit, and that play was specifically written for that. So I love both interpretations. I think the guy from The Mummy, he played exactly Othello once. And that was phenomenal. And I can't remember where I would have seen something like that, but I'm pretty sure he did, and it was fantastic. Anyways, I'll take it in any shape or form, Shakespeare.
Well, Doc is saying that the Othello movie, according to him, is a bit weak, like Three Taters with Mayo movie. I mean, you can go back. We did review O, if that's the one that you're referencing, which was really hard from an SEO standpoint, because when you look O, you have to look like O movie 90s
2001
2001 to be able to find it.
I think I found it 2001 movie.
Not a great titling decision. but I like that one, but it's not as good as this one. It's definitely not as good as Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. So there's my order of operations. Baz Luhrmann at the very top, and then everyone else below. But this I think this was
the one with Sir Ian McKellen. Othello was a very good, but it was a stage performance put on film. That was very good, and I think Judi Dench might have been in it too, or Helen Mirren. Can't remember.
And give all of those women every Oscar. Just continue to hand them Oscars. I like. Doc is referencing Othello 1995 version with Larry Fishburne. And Josh is saying that we're just going to assume that every time you speak, you are being punny. So safe bet, Josh. Safe bet.
So one thing I wanted to say was, how we referenced the chemistry at the top of the
Yeah,
hour.
the zero
How
chemistry. They had
the zero
chemistry with each
chemistry
other.
between Joseph
Yeah.
Fiennes
Did not
and
believe that
Gwyneth
they were in love.
Paltrow.
Other than the kissing and sex scenes, would not have believed that they were in
But
love. But sure.
I think Joseph Fiennes had chemistry with Gwyneth Paltrow, but she couldn't
She's just a
reciprocate it for
wall.
whatever reason. Because the way they would film scenes where he's just staring at something, like, and it's just him staring with yearning, like, yearning is the look that he perpetually has throughout this movie, and he nails it. I feel like that's what a lot of movies, and especially romantic movies nowadays, is missing, is yearning
Is
and the look
yearning.
of yearning.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel people don't understand yearning anymore. He nailed it. Like his
Bring
performance
back
in this is a
Joseph Fiennes.
master class
Yeah.
of yearning. Yeah.
Bring back
Um,
just Fiennes. That's the answer.
God.
He's also the
Yes.
antithesis to Rafe or Ralph or whatever the heck you call
It's
him.
Rafe.
Fiennes.
I know. It's
know.
spelt Ralph.
Yeah.
It's said pronounced Rafe.
Yeah.
Who's Voldemort? If you didn't know, so
He's
Joseph
also in
Fiennes, who
8
plays
million other things, but
Shakespeare
yeah.
in this.
Yep.
Yeah, but nowadays, like,
I
you would
know, for the
recognize
kids.
him most as Voldemort. Okay, let's be fair. Harry P was written in the 90s. Okay, like,
I
we
know.
were kids.
I know. Fair.
I guess it became more popular from millennial kids.
In my mind, he's in Red Dragon.
Yes.
He's
He
an English
always
major.
plays a
He's
mass
always creepy.
murderous
He's
psycho.
so good at being creepy. He is the opposite
Yeah.
of yearning. He's like terror incarnate.
Yeah.
And then his brother is just like so sweet and soft and yearning and like and just I believe
He's
could be
the guy
William.
that even Hannibal Lecter was like, "Ooh, he's
Ooh,
a
yeah.
bad dude."
Yeah, not good. Yep. Rafe.
Yeah. Rafe versus Joseph. So it's funny because even like looks wise, they kind of look related, but not.
Not quite though.
And like
Joseph is so pretty. It's
one is
ridiculous.
so pretty.
Yeah.
The other one is handsome.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally different.
But
Yeah.
you're
But
right.
yeah,
though.
so
It's
Joseph
the
finds
yearning.
with all the chemistry. Yeah.
Apparently
Like, he had chemistry, just him watching the actors perform on stage. Like, you could see like how in love with it he was. You know, like,
Yeah.
he fell back in love with writing, almost was the biggest romance of this.
Yeah. William Shakespeare just being in love with everything, I believe.
With
he
writing
had
was the
chemistry
best.
with literally maybe even the dog, but I did not believe that the two of them were in love with each other. That was my belief. So all the
Like,
points
there's this
too.
cute scene in the boat where he's telling her, so somebody's rowing the boat back across the Thames so she could go home and they could have their little love affair, but she's dressed as a man and he is a man and dressed as a man, and he's trying to say how much he loves her, and she keeps asking, "Oh, like, so you really love my aunt?" "Yes." "How do her eyes look?" "Oh, they look like this." "And how do her lips look?" And
Oh no, Nat. Oh no. All right. Hang tight for 1 second while Nat reconnects. But it is a brilliant scene. While Nat is reconnecting, I am going to. There she is. You hung up on me, Nat. How mean of you. No problem. All right, I was just gonna pop up here on screen that Doc is saying that the nephew of the Fiennes nephew is in Young Sherlock, which I think is awesome. I haven't seen that one yet, so that one will have to be on my list. And there's Nat back.
I can't hear anything anymore.
Uh-oh, you can't hear anything. We're breaking all the internet these days. That's just a goal of ours. All right. Well, while Nat is connecting, the other thing I will say too is I want to just swing back over here and officially say happy birthday to George. Happy birthday. Thanks for hanging out with us. Poor Nat. We can hear you. But you can't hear us. Let's see here.
I need a blue screen 404 error.
Oh, a blue screen 404 error. Sad face. All right. Well, I will shoot Nat a note to let her know she can pop in and out. But while we're waiting for Nat, if you want to drop a rating for this, whether or not you love this or you hated this or we've convinced you to maybe check it out if you haven't watched it yet, let us know in the comments. You could rate in dogs,
Okay. It works.
skulls. Are you back now?
I can't hear Katie, but I can hear me.
Interesting. You can rate in skulls. You can rate in, what else could you rate in? Roses for the Rose Theater, which is what they call it in this particular movie. But yeah, let us know. I, of course, as usual, chose all my rating without letting Nat have any kind of say. You can rate in, what else could you rate in? Roses for the Rose Theater, which is what they call it in this. All right, I'm gonna mute Nat for a second. All right, I'm gonna swing over here to my potato review scene.
Agreed. No, one more potatoes.
More potatoes? One more potato, Nat? All right, I will add another potato just for you. Mute Nat for a second. I will add one more potato for Nat. All right, so we're at 5. Doc rated in poison, which I think is pretty awesome. Let me come over here in my vertical scene and add one more potato in. Doc says, smart Nat, definitely 5. Definitely 5 for all things. I'm just seeing if anyone else dropped their rating in. Josh, let us know. We swayed you. Did this movie make you did this movie make anyone more interested in Shakespeare? Let me know if you weren't a Shakespeare fan and this one really made a big difference. I can't talk because I've always been a diehard Shakespeare fan, so this one just made me want to rewatch everything. Duck has got five poison containers. I miscounted 5, not 4, and also 5 masks. So he's a fan, which I love, Doc. Unexpected for you and just makes you all the cooler. I love it. Well, I don't see anyone else dropping their rating in. Come on, George, it's your birthday. You've got to let us know what this rates in. We haven't picked next week's episode yet, so we will let you know when we do, but this is probably a good reminder that you can sign up for our email list at any point to find out what's happening, learn more about our upcoming revised Actually Works movie nights and everything in between. Swing on over to the vhsclubpod.com/email and make sure that you get on that list. We promise to only send you fun stuff. We do contests every now and then too, so an opportunity to win some fun swag. Josh is saying that we have not convinced him. That's fair, Josh. He's not big on historical fiction movies and not a giant Shakespeare fan, which I think is totally fair. And Doc says that he was hooked on William Shakespeare after watching this. He went deeper than with Othello and with Romeo and Juliet. And George is saying that he gives it 5. So lots of fans and then Josh. But Josh is always welcome here, regardless of whether or not he likes this particular movie. Well, I'm sorry we didn't get Nat back, but I see her listening on her phone, so she can just laugh in like 10 seconds when she hears me because this is a little bit delayed as to what she's hearing there. And we'll get everything sorted before we join you again next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring Doc on to do Knight's Tale, or we will dive into, I know we wanted to do Spaceballs coming up here soon because that one is coming out obviously with the sequel soon, which is really exciting. And you can always let us know your favorite movies by following us on social or sending us an email or swinging over to our website and leaving us a voicemail. But we really appreciate it. We're so happy to be back, even though there have been all kinds of challenges. We made it here tonight, and we appreciate you spending the time with us. And we will see you again next week. Bye, everyone. Wave, Nat. Bye, everyone.
King and Nat, rocking the scene.